A very good evening to you, and many thanks for joining us at this particular moment in time on this 22nd day of January 2024. On a day that President William Ruto has, of course, met with Chief Justice Koome to outline the issues surrounding the judiciary. Now, again, today, according to a research made, or rather done by InfoTrack, 18% of Kenyans are in severe financial crisis, as 55% are struggling to make ends meet. Now, that is according to research done by InfoTrack in December last year. That and many more stories that we've prepared for you tonight. First of all, let's have a look at what's making headlines.
Tonight on the spotlight, corruption remains an existential threat to the nation, which has permitted the three arms of government. Ruto Koome-led meeting results to launch a fight on graft.
This, in our view, is an irresponsible move.
It is irresponsible. Raila trashes Ruto Koome talks, saying it will lead to judicial capture. And still at pains. An InfoTrack cost of living survey reveals that a majority of Kenyans are in severe financial distress and are struggling to make ends meet.
Now, welcome to the program. I am Ian Keitani, and our sign language interpreter is Josephine Oko. Remember, you can watch this particular bulletin live on our Facebook and YouTube pages at Lookuptv. Let's start our bulletin now. And President William Ruto on Monday morning held a meeting with Chief Justice Koome, of course, at State House, Nairobi. The meeting has seen the three arms of government agree to fight corruption in the corridors of justice and ensure efficient service delivery. The three arms of government agreed to submit proposals on a roadmap for fighting corruption within 30 days. Ruga Ival opens our bulletin tonight.
10 a.m. in the morning, representatives from the three arms of the government arrived in State House, Nairobi, ready for a meeting that was anticipated to come up with a solution to end the wrangles between the judiciary and the executive. President William Ruto, Chief Justice Koome, her Deputy Philomena Mwilu, Attorney General Justin Muturi, Senate Speaker Amason Kingi, National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula, Solicitor General Shadrack Mose, all were ready to hold a fruitful discussion.
Bestowed upon us as leaders of Kenya on behalf of the people of Kenya. Help us further to work together for the benefit and in the interest of the people of Kenya. For all this, we pray in Jesus' name.
They were to deliberate on building approaches to fight corruption, enhance accountability, and to facilitate the efficient and seamless delivery of services to the people of Kenya. The executive, legislature, and judiciary, according to Mohammed, agreed to individually develop policies, guidelines, regulations, and legislative proposals to achieve the objectives of fighting corruption, improving service delivery, and enhancing institutional accountability. Additionally, they agreed to corruption remains an empirical threat to the nation, which has permitted the three arms of government. Each of the three arms of government commits to enhance service delivery, fight corruption. The executive, legislature, and the judiciary agreed to individually develop policies. Within 30 days, each arm of government will submit the proposals made to a forum of the National Council of the Administration of Justice (NCAJ). To optimize the efficient delivery of service and the fight against corruption, the executive and the legislature to facilitate the recruitment of an additional 25 judges of the High Court, to facilitate the recruitment of 11 new judges of the Court of Appeal. Resources will also be provided to conclude the vehicle leasing program to facilitate the judiciary's transport needs. The executive, legislature, and judiciary commit to perform their functions in a manner that respects the rule of law. Now, all eyes are on the two, the President and the Chief Justice, to act and bring to a stop the push and pull between the two arms of government.
Now, still staying on that particular meeting is that opposition leader Raila Odinga has slammed the move by Chief Justice Koome to meet with President William Ruto at State House, Nairobi today over corruption in the judiciary, describing it as irresponsible. Speaking during the commissioning of the Maweni Water Project in Lamu County, Odinga stated that this would compromise the judiciary's independence. George Casey now reports.
The CJ.
The Ruto Koome meeting has been received negatively in the political arena, with azimio leader Raila Odinga castigating Koome for meeting President Ruto at State House Nairobi, saying the move was irresponsible and aimed at making the judiciary married to the executive.
Chief Justice, the head of judiciary, has gone for a meeting with the president in State House. This, in our view, is an irresponsible move. If there's supposed to be a dialogue, this dialogue should be held in a neutral place. State House is the head of the executive, it's the seat of the executive. That's where the president resides. If there's going to be a dialogue over issues of governance, they should be held in a neutral ground.
It is a meeting that was opposed from the word go, Odinga insisting that the judiciary will be at the executive's mercy.
But this means that the judiciary itself is being compromised by the executive. The judiciary is being held hostage by the executive. And we've seen this before. You saw it happen under the rule of Mr. Moi. And we have tried to caution the current Chief Justice not to go to bed with the executive. This is an unfortunate development. And we hope that the rest of members of the judiciary are not going to be compromised. We want the judges to remain firm and do their work in accordance with the law and the constitution of our country. This was a statement that we wanted to make today.
Koome and Ruto's meeting comes after attacks on the judiciary by the executive, where the president accused the judiciary of corruption. Odinga and other opposition leaders have been opposed to the meeting, with LSK calling on the judiciary led by Koome not to give in to the threats. The JSC last week called on the president to have talks with them in order to iron out any issues between them.
Now to a story that is of interest to millions of Kenyans. A majority of Kenyans are in severe financial distress or are struggling to make ends meet. This is according to a new poll by Infotrak. The poll indicates that out of 73% Kenyans, 18% are in severe financial distress, while 55% are struggling to make ends meet.
With President William Ruto in his second year in office since taking over the reins of power, the economic situation has continued to worsen as Kenyans continue to decry over what they term as inflation. A recent research done by Infotrak and released today now shows that 73% of Kenyans are struggling due to the high cost of living. According to the research, 18% of Kenyans are in severe financial distress, 55% are struggling to make ends meet. A further 22% are neither struggling nor managing, with only 5% comfortably managing the situation. The research further showed that 45% of Kenyans have resorted to side hustles to supplement their income. 41% have reduced their expenditure on non-essentials, with 18% taking loans to fill the gap. With the impact of economic hardship being felt across the country, 48% of Kenyans have experienced stress due to the economic situation. A further 32% have had a strain on personal relationship. 21% have experienced physical health effects, with 18% having mental problems. The northeastern region remains the most affected, with 78% of residents at pains to make ends meet. The coast region follows closely with 76%, central Kenya with 74%, and the Rift Valley with 73% of residents decrying over the high cost of living. Just 22 days into January, Kenyans believe the cost of living will increase by 48%. Kenyans further expect a record 67% rise in school fees, with the rate of unemployment expected to rise by 56%. The survey was conducted between 18th and 19th of December 2023, with at least 1,500 Kenyans interviewed across the 47 counties. As President William Ruto struggles to revive the ever-sinking economy, with the Kenyan shilling continuing to weaken compared to the US dollar, the question remains, will there be light at the end of the tunnel, or will Kenyans continue to suffocate under the tough economic times? Yenkitane, Lookuptv.
Of course, that story was produced by one Brian Amoy. Now, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has raised a red flag on land grabbing and the use of fake academic papers to gain employment across the country. Speaking in Kisumu County, the commission, let's take that again, the commission chairperson, that is Bishop David Oginde, stated that the two vices remain a great concern for the anti-graft agency. Oginde says the rate of land grabbing being reported in the country is so high, and the commission has seized up the matter.
We are particularly concerned about the apparent increase in particular areas. We have seen land grabbing seems to be getting on the increase, and this is an area that is of great disappointment to us, because we would like to see a situation where Kenyans do the right thing. You own the property that is rightfully yours. But we have put measures into place to ensure that this does not increase. We have seen another increase in the area of fake certificates, people trying to get employment using false documents. And again, an area that we are working hard to ensure that it doesn't jeopardize our education system. Because if we continue in that trend, as you have heard, some countries are already beginning to blacklist our degrees, and that would not be good for the young people of this country, and indeed everybody. Because if you are going to get a job out of the country and you present your papers and they are not trusted, it will jeopardize our movement and our work in different countries. We are also concerned about members of the officers in our public offices who are using false claims to enrich themselves, and sometimes this money is run into millions and sometimes even into billions of people who are siphoning monies by pretending they have gone for a seminar, they have gone out of the country, they have been involved in some activities, and in the process make claims. And these are matters that are of concern to us as a commission, and so we are putting our minds and heads together on how to ensure that this does not.
On to matters of health now, and the Ministry of Health has launched a plan to combat tuberculosis in the country. The plan, dubbed National Strategic Plan for Tuberculosis, Leprosy and Lung Health, was unveiled on Monday by Principal Secretary for Public Health and Professional Standards, Mary Muthoni. The 5-year strategic plan aims to ensure quality care for TB, leprosy and lung diseases for all Kenyans. Speaking during the launch, PS Muthoni raised concerns about what she termed as the scourge, that is TB. Mevin Getembe files the following story.
While launching the 5-year strategic plan that aims to ensure quality care for TB, leprosy and lung diseases for all Kenyans, gracing the event, Health Cabinet Secretary for Public Health and Professional Standards Mary Muthoni now cautions medical professions against cases of misdiagnosis, which according to her has led deaths in some cases where patients suffered from tuberculosis.
So again, equally to the medics, let us review our professionalism, because it boils down to that. Don't have and screen even more, better. For the gaps that we have in our hospitals, in our health facilities, we may require equipping TB screening machines. Maybe that should be at the triage.
In 2022, Kenya reported a total of 90,560 drug-sensitive TB cases, an increase compared to the 77,854 cases reported in 2021. Muthoni now says the ministry is working with various stakeholders to achieve a TB-free Kenya, calling on board all Kenyans to join the fight against TB, adding that the plan will be an inclusive guide that will be used in the fight to end TB in Kenya.
Strive for a future where no one is left behind and where the health outcomes at the grassroots level are significantly improved. Together we can overcome this challenge and build a healthier, more resilient nation.
Kenya has, however, achieved incredible TB milestone, including meeting sustainable TB target globally in 2022. The ministry is working to empower those affected by the disease, especially in rural areas, as the launch also calls to curb misinformation around tuberculosis.
Collaborative efforts with communities and civil society organizations, we have achieved incredible milestones, including a notable reduction in TB-related incidences and fatalities, making Kenya one of the few countries globally to meet the 2020 and 2022 Sustainable Development Targets.
Mevin Getembe, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Oh, thank you very much, Mevin Getembe, for that story. And on that note, we take our first breather. We'll be back with more details or more stories on this bulletin. Don't go away.
Tere, mambo ni mawili, kufikisha, kumwaga na kurudi. Kulala ni mwaka mpya.
Muka we mse. Nini mbaya? Wewe kwani wani vile dereva anaendesha gari vibaya, lazima tususe. Anaendesha gari na kwa simu the whole time, hata angalia barabara. Tusimame. Wewe dereva wewe, mwaka iliyopita peke yake watu zaidi ya 3,000 walipoteza maisha yao barabarani kwa sababu ya tabia kama hizo. Hautatuangamiza tukiona.
Naomba msamaha, tampeleka vizuri.
Si wameomba msamaha. Sasa tuende tusafiri kwa mwendo wa aste.
Dere Smart hufikisha abiria salama. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na NTSA kwa ushirikiano na European Union.
Anza mwaka na Loto Jijenge Boost. Kila siku kuna guaranteed business boost worth 100,000 na up to 1 million ndani ya hourly draws. Jipange nyumbani na 100,000 shopping vouchers. Boost biashara yako na 1 million or a brand new Toyota Probox kila wiki na up to 200 million shillings ndani ya Grand Mega Jackpot every Wednesday and Saturday. Changamka, jiboost na ujipange na Loto. Ingia M-Pesa Paybill 77700. Account, look, amount 50 bob to 2,000 na ujisort na Loto Mega Boost. Over 18s only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. BCLB number 00000898.
Changamka, cheza Loto.
On to some politics now, and Azimio leader Raila Odinga says the Azimio La Umoja One Kenya coalition is intact and will continue to champion the rights of Kenyans. Odinga says reports by local dailies that there are cracks in the coalition are misguided and aimed at creating divisions in the coalition. Speaking in Manda Island in Lamu County when he launched a community water project, the ODM leader accused the media of being used to cause unnecessary tension and anxiety among party members of the coalition, and told them to be objective in their reporting.
Speaking in Lamu, the former Prime Minister maintained that the Blue Coalition is still intact, dismissing claims that there are cracks within Azimio as reported.
To dispel any rumor that's being spread by irresponsible media that there is no danger in Azimio collapsing anytime soon. Really want our media to be responsible. We don't want media to spread unnecessary and irresponsible propaganda. Nobody has left Azimio. Azimio has remained intact, except a few members of parliament who decided to take a walk. But the leadership of Azimio is intact. There is no dissension. There is no disagreement anywhere in Azimio. And that's why we actually are taken aback to see a banner headline in a very...
Odinga faulted a local daily for reporting on the matter, saying it is misguided and that the report is a plot by his political enemies to see distrust among members of the coalition.
Media in the country. We want to say this is irresponsible journalism that must be discarded. We don't want the media to try to spread the despondency among the members of Azimio. We have stood very firm. Azimio is on a course of liberation of this country.
The opposition leader called on members of the large Azimio coalition to stay put and that the party is on a mission to give the nation a direction.
We have stood very firm. Azimio is on a course of liberation of this country. Azimio, there may be sometimes disagreement of opinion on one issue or the other, but that itself does not mean in any way disintegration. So I want to inform all our members, wherever they are, across the country, Azimio iko imara. Azimio is remaining united, and Azimio will not break up anytime soon. We are on a course to liberate this country from the tyranny and the responsibility. Second,
this comes as the party wrote to its constituent parties calling them for a meeting to discuss the way forward for the party.
And to matters affordable housing now, and Western Geshu residents have expressed their dissatisfaction with the 10% deposit on housing levy, saying that that amount is too high or too much for the common Kenyan who has no formal employment. Now, during the public participation in Western Geshu, residents want the government to elaborate on how counties will benefit from the program. They also want the government to explain how it will benefit county governments. The committee took a swipe at those taking the matter to court, saying that the project is people-driven.
Kwa sababu pia wao walikuja na kuwasilisha maoni yao. Kuna mambo ambayo yamestand out katika mkutano wa siku ya leo. Of course, issue ya 10% deposit imejirudia, wananchi wengine wakiona na kwamba pengine 10% iko juu sana. Jambo lingine limejitokeza ni vile county, wakati ambapo county wanakuwa wamedonate shamba katika national government kwa ujenzi huu wa manyumba, then ni benefit gani ambayo county watapata kutokana na huo mradi. Pia swali lingine ambalo limeibuka ni mahali ambapo kulikuwa kuna nyumba tayari za another agency ambapo pengine zilikuwa za hali duni, alafu ikakuwa hizo nyumba zikakuja kubomolewa, nyumba zingine zikajengwa. Kwa hivyo ni jinsi gani tunaweza kuhakikisha kwamba wale ambao walikuwa wanaishi katika zile nyumba hapo awali wapate kupewa kipaumbele wakati hizi nyumba zingine zinaweza
mpangilio kamili kusema it is a good problem to have where we provide services when the wananchi wanakuja kwa urban, which will give us room to produce more in our farms. I think that's the messaging that
mama wetu umeleta mjadala mzuri sana, lakini umesahau kuna wamama singles mothers na kuna mama wajane. Wanapo mtakuwa mnakaa chini, hata hao mtenge mahali ambapo mnaweza kuwa mnawaweka. Kuna changamoto hapa nje, hao wamama wako na shida sana hapa nje, na kama hiyo nafasi itapatikana, naomba tu
all boda riders operating within Kitengela town and its environs must register with the relevant governing boda association and their names to be submitted to the security committee. The directive came following a crisis meeting held between the riders and security officers amid a major ongoing crackdown of riders suspected to have been involved in assaulting a motorist last week.
So ile kitu iko tushirikiane, tutengeneze Kitengela ikuwe mzuri. Ikuwe mzuri si kwa wanabodaboda peke yake, ikuwe mzuri kwa watu wote. Wale wanapita barabara, wale wanakuja kutafuta services wenu, msiwapeleke kwa dark areas mahali haina mataa alafu mnaenda kwa red. Ndio tuanze hiyo operation kubwa yenye tunashirikiana na wakubwa. Kitu ya kwanza ni usajili. Nataka usajili endelee. Mimi nitakuja kwa state nione register, nione list. Wale hawako kwa hiyo list watoke nje.
Hiyo ni point number 1. Number 2, mumeniambia niombe bwana OCS na security personnel, si ndio? Tukasema ya kwamba point number 2, sisi kama wana bodaboda, ofisi na bodaboda wote tuko tayari. Wale watu wote wako kwa hizo video tuwatafute usiku na mchana, tuwaweke kwa mikono ya polisi, wabebe msalaba ya. Sio ndio mmesema namna hiyo? Haya, ya tatu pia mmeniambia niombe bwana OCS na serikali, wale watu walishikwa innocent katika ile harakati ya operation, tunaomba waachiliwe, warudi watafutie familia zao unga, si namna hiyo? Haya, point ya mwisho, watu wamesema pia wameomba serikali pia saa ile kunatokea kisanga yenye mwana bodaboda
It was indeed a sad story to see how that motorist was assaulted with the boda riders pelting stones on that particular vehicle. Moving forward is that residents of Kariobangi South, led by Chairman E-Graders Association Mr. Ayub Simba, today protested the grabbing of a public utility land set aside to build a rehabilitation center to help the community. They said a private developer was trying to fence it early this morning with the support of the area administration, but they intervened with a demonstration that ensured the fencing is stopped.
Developer mmoja mwenye hii nyumba iko hapa, hata mimi personally aliweza kunitishia Friday. Alisema ataniua. But niko na OB number hapa, niliandikisha pale kwa chief. Niko na OB number hapa. Alisema ataniua kwa sababu ya hii kiwanja. Atoa gate hapa, ailete pale. Na hapa kwetu alisema itakuwa parking. So akitusongesha pale kwa hii gate anaitoa hapa ilete pale, aweze kudevelop area iko hapa. Hapa ni public utility, hapa kuna shamba ya mtu.
Doubling hapa hii area hapa. Na hapa sisi, hapa ni kwetu. Ile kitu yenye hatuwezi uza hapa by force. Wanakuja kutuhesabia by force. Hatuwezi uza hapa by force. Tuko na watoto, tuko na generation. Wote wanakuja hapa. Hapa tunataka tutengenezewe. Alitukana kiongozi wetu wa MP wetu. Hapa tutengenezea hapa hivi. Watoto wetu watakuja hapa, mnafurahia mafurahi. Kwani uongo?
Na mimi ni single mother. Sasa mimi nashindwaje? Tukinyang'anywa kiwanja, tutaelekea wapi? Hapa ndio tunakula, hapa ndio watoto wanafaidikia vitabu. Kwa hivyo tusaidianeni. Nampatie Simba security. Manake
ni kama anaavoid kuja kwa ofisi yetu sisi. Kwa sababu ile kitu nilikuwa nataka angekuja, hata ningeita hao wengine wakuje. But hatutamkubalia. Wacha tuseme tu hatutakubalia afanye hiyo. Juu mimi sidhani hata vile mnasema, mimi siwezi peana ruhusa ati mtu agrab hapa. Siwezi.
Now, Stawisha Africa Initiative has embarked on an ambitious program that aims to reduce the rate of teenage pregnancies in Siaya County. The program is called Jihusishe Nasi Project. Is based on sexual reproductive health as a concept that seeks to strengthen the protection of the rights of young people and more specifically, that is the girls of reproductive health. Ebi Kadenyi now reports.
Following the rising numbers of early teenage pregnancies, Stawisha Africa Initiative has started a program aimed at reducing the rising cases. Speaking during the launch of the program, director and founder of Stawisha Africa Initiative, Dan Joshua Oduor, said that the project targets to work with girls and young women of the ages of between 11 and 29 years in Alego. He further added that they will work together with various stakeholders, including the church, national government administration, and the health department to ensure that the girls are saved from possible teenage pregnancies and matters abuse or related to sexual reproductive health.
We are here today to celebrate and launch a project that is going to impact in our community. This project is called Jihusishe Nasi Project. It is based on sexual reproductive health as a concept, and we are looking to strengthen young people, especially girls, between the ages of 11 and 29. And these girls are going to be able to become ambassadors in the future within the area that we'll be working.
Aska Ongongo, one of the stakeholders, added that through the program, Aya clubs and youth cafes will be established in schools and in the community to help in also reaching out to boys on matters sexual reproductive health.
As a stakeholder in this project, it is expected that I act as a linkage between the community and the facility. As the Director Stawisha had said earlier, Siaya County is one of the counties that is recording high teenage pregnancy. So in this project of Jihusishe Nasi, when it rolls out, we are expected that these teenage pregnancies are going to reduce because these teenage girls will be having knowledge. And two, there is also a plan with Stawisha that them that are willing to go back to school, they get back to school. And this is expected to help to impact in our society in that levels of poverty will be reduced.
Moreover, Reverend Frederick Oluoch of the ACK Maseno West Diocese said that he's supporting the program, saying that its component, which aims at supporting young women to return to school, will help a great deal.
So some of the households have been taken through kitchen garden staffs. They have also reached out to schools, like most recently a school within our reach, Nyasidi. They donated 10,000 liters tank, which will help them maybe handle the tree planting programs, etc. So as a church, we want to believe it is impacting to the community positively, and we want to be stakeholders and work together with them.
Ebikadini, Lookuptv.
On to a very sad story now, and a 15-year-old girl is trapped underground for 5 days straight as a gold mine collapsed in a Wowo village, Alale location in West Pokot County. The victim, identified as Nakiru Ngolenyang, was unable to escape during the unfortunate incident that occurred on Wednesday, January the 17th. Speaking to the press, Alale Police Station OCS Geoffrey Ndiwa, who was at the scene leading the rescue exercise, said they are on course and trying everything they can to rescue the girl. That and more on our newsroom.
A devastating incident on Wednesday, January 17th of 2024. A gold mine in Aruaro village, Alale location, West Pokot County, collapsed, trapping a 15-year-old Nakiru Ngolenyang underground. Alale Police Station OCS Geoffrey Ndiwa, who led the rescue efforts, revealed that a group of women had been in the mine when it collapsed. Unfortunately, Nakiru was missing, prompting a swift response from authorities.
Watu walichimba gold siku ya Jumatano, akafunika mtoto. Mwili hakuonekana mpaka saizi. Ndio saizi sasa tumekuja kuona hii sasa imeonekana kwa sababu ya harufu. Bado watu wanachimba, hajapatikana bado.
Elsewhere in Karaini, Kirinyaga Central, a 22-year-old girl Nelius Njoki, desperate for medical treatment after a road accident, attempted suicide as her parents struggled to raise 70,000 Kenya shillings for a crucial leg implant. On December 9th of 2023, Njoki was involved in a road accident along Kagumo Karaini Road, leading to admission to Karagoya 5-level hospital. After being discharged, she awaited for a crucial metal implant on her left leg on January 16, 2024.
Niliweza kupata accident date 9 December. Nikaambiwa nirudi after 1 month niwekwe chuma. So date 15 nikakuwa desperate, nikakufa moyo kujitoa uhai kwa sababu nilikuwa broke na desperate, lakini haikuwezekana.
Meanwhile, in a bid to address the escalating water scarcity crisis in arid and semi-arid lands counties of Kenya, the World Bank, in collaboration with the county government, has launched a 5-year project. The initiative, known as the Horn of Africa Groundwater for Resilience Regional Program, aims to harness groundwater as a silver bullet solution for the acute water challenges exacerbated by climate changes. Led by the Water Resources Authority, the 19.3 billion project spans across Wajir, Turkana, Garissa, Wajir, and Mandera.
So the Horn of Africa for Groundwater Resilience project is about impacting the community around this area. With this, we are targeting to increase storage to ensure that there is increased sustainable access and groundwater management in this area. So we are working in 5 counties in the borderland. That's Turkana, Marsabit, Wajir, Garissa and Mandera.
Finally, in a significant milestone for the residents of Poka Kenyawa ward in Kajiado East, the county government has officially commissioned the Ewangang Laboratory Hospital. The inauguration of this state-of-the-art medical facility marks the end of the year's hardship of community, offering a ray of hope for improved health care. Speaking at the commissioning ceremony, Governor Joseph Lenku reaffirmed his administration's unwavering commitment to advancing universal health care, particularly in remote areas. He assured residents of a consistent drug supply across all medical facilities within the county.
Leo kwa niaba ya serikali ya kaunti nzima niko na furaha kufungulia hospitali hii, na tunajua maneno ya afya ni sehemu tulisema tutaipatia kipaumbele kama serikali ya kaunti ya Kajiado, kama vile rais anajaribu naye katika taifa kulete njia ya afya bora kwa wote, UHC.
Martin Masharia, Lookuptv.
Well, Martin Masharia, thank you very much for that particular story. We've come to the end of this particular bulletin, but it wouldn't be fair if I would have ended this bulletin without some sporting action. And today, the final group stage matches in the African Cup of Nations are set to be played. And as it stands at the moment, host nation Ivory Coast are exiting the African Cup of Nations. They are currently trailing Equatorial Guinea by 2-0, while Nigeria are leading Guinea by a solitary goal. That means Equatorial Guinea lead the group with 7 points, with Nigeria coming in second with 7 points. Ivory Coast, who are the host nation, are staring at elimination with only 3 points, unless they can pull off a miracle and win 3-2 in that particular game. Remember, later on at 11 p.m, one game in Group B will be played. That is Ghana playing against Mozambique. Ghana themselves are staring at elimination, and even if they win today, they will be hoping that tomorrow Egypt will be beaten by Cape Verde in order to ensure that Cape Verde qualify as group winners with 9 points. And of course, them, if they win, they will be second with 4 points. It has been a wonderful tournament so far with brilliant goals. You'd call them golazos if you are a football fan. Such goals are not normally seen, especially by Arsenal fans. They're not used to such wonderful goals scored in the African Cup of Nations as it stands. Until tomorrow, do have yourself a wonderful night. And to the team behind the scenes, thank you very much for making this happen, led by my producer Brian Amwai, Nasha Kago on the digital desk, Jeremy Komo, the director, Pauline on the TX, James Kinyo, Alvin Thuo, Kivuva, and of course our sign language interpreter Josephine Auko. Until tomorrow, do have yourself a wonderful night, and like always, God bless.